What's up everyone, Interrush here. The Warhammer universe is chock full of different factions, each one unique and interesting in some way or another. And then there's the Space Marines. Now, I myself am a huge Space Marine fan, but I will admit, Games Workshop shows them a little too much love sometimes. Their models and lore is expansive, to say the least. I mean, if I had $1 for every book that has something to do with Space Marines, I'd be able to pay off my debt to Games Workshop. So in this video, I'm going to cover all the more prominent types of Space Marines, what their roles are, what their gear is, and at the end, you can decide what kind of Space Marine best fits you. Without further ado, let's get started. Starting off the list, we have the Assault Intercessors. Assault Intercessors are the vanguard of most Space Marine forces. They're the default Space Marines and probably the most iconic. An Assault Intercessor can definitely give most heretic forces a reason to stay home. Wielding a bolter in one hand and a chainsword in the other, these guys form the backbone of Space Marine armies. Their skill set is in medium to close quarters combat, valuing good battlefield movement and closing the distance to keep things up and personal with the enemy. Overall, the Assault Intercessors are essential to most Space Marine armies, and they look pretty sick. I'm of course referring to that one shot from the Space Marine 2 trailer. Next up is the Assault Intercessors' long distance relatives, the Intercessors. These guys are the medium to long range Space Marines equipped with the iconic bolt gun and combat knives. If you want suppressing fire or a potentially fatal handshake, give these guys a call. They might not look too different to the Assault Intercessors, but on the battlefield they serve pretty different roles. The Intercessors' job is to keep at range and pummel the enemy with obscene amounts of gunfire. They're an all-round solid unit and work well with the Assault Intercessors. On to my favourite are the Devastator Marines. Throughout all media, I've always had a love for the tanky units, and these guys are no different. Devastators are the heavy weapons specialists, utilising the most powerful weapons at the Imperium's disposal. Ranging from las cannons to missile launchers, Devastator Marines and their arsenals can be trusted to blow anything to shreds. Devastator Marines have advanced range-finding equipment on their helmets and explosive munitions to ensure civilian casualties remain high. If you want crowd control, then Devastator Marines are a no-brainer. Next up are the glowstick-loving Hellblasters. These are, I guess you could say, a more specialist version of the Intercessors. Wielding plasma incinerators, these guys can not only put a crispy hole through enemy infantry, but also enemy vehicles as well. The only backside of these powerful weapons is their tendency to explode when put under high stress, although it's a small price to pay compared to whoever was on the other end of that blast. Hellblasters are great for dealing with armored enemies with that high penetration coming in handy. Overall, Hellblasters are a valuable asset for the Imperium. And lastly, onto the Inceptors. The Inceptors are the mavericks of the Space Marine army. Hurtling into the battlefield via orbital insertion, these units are the hit-and-run shock troopers. Their jump packs offer them a high range of maneuverability on the battlefield, not only forwards and backwards but also vertically. The Inceptor equipment is more heavier armoured than the usual power armour, allowing them to tank more hits and stay fighting for longer. Inceptors are one of the few units equipped with assault bolters, the high rate of fire allowing them to clear a path through an obstacle. Definitely a solid choice if you value access to all areas of the battlefield. I think that about sums it up for this video. I know I didn't cover all the Space Marine roles, but I just didn't want this video to go into the afterlife. Some of the units I missed are the Terminators, Aggressors, and Scout Marines. The Scout Marines aren't full Space Marines, the Terminators are sort of above the basic Space Marine roles in terms of ranking, and the Aggressors are just too similar to Devastators. If you guys want a part 2, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to follow through. Hope you guys enjoyed the vid, like, subscribe, and have a good one.